Welcome back to the VST channel. The Samsung Galaxy S23 and S24 Ultras are here with the May update. So in this video, shooting 4K 60 FPS, I'm gonna do the usual testing, but first some info about the changelog. So apparently it's still One 6.1, it's Android 14. The version on the S24 Ultra is AXD6. Alright, security patch level 1st of May, the size is almost 453 megabytes. Well, almost the same for the S23 Ultra, but the version here is CXDF. Again, from the 1st of May. Now, something very interesting, I'm gonna click here to see if Samsung had the time to update their own website. So apparently they did. So they did it for the S24 Ultra. They did it also for the S23 Ultra. We don't have any reason to believe that this update is more than just a security patch. And if you want to check the Android security built-in for May 2024, then here it is. Some critical vulnerabilities have been fixed like always, and you can check the full list here. And of course, there are some updates for the Google Play system updates, but this is it, guys. This update should only be indeed the very latest security patch. There is nothing more inside the changelog, but you know how Samsung are with changelog. So now it's time to check the system navigation and the quick settings. And the first thing I always test with my phones is this animation here. All right, for your pleasure, again in 4K 60 FPS, guys. So if you want to check how fluid or not fluid those phones are, make sure to watch this in 60 FPS. On the S23 Ultra and on the S24 Ultra. So this was quite okay. Usually this presents a problem. I also want to test this animation when I have the phone like this, because usually when you turn it around in the horizontal mode, yeah, sometimes it is not so smooth. So S24 Ultra, I would say quite smooth. Now it's time to test the S23 Ultra. I would say it is absolutely the same. If the S24 Ultra didn't have the flat display, it would have been very hard for me to tell which phone is which. But, alright, something about system navigation. I'm gonna go to the very left, where I have here my Google Now, and I think it's quite nice. One more time. Okay, now the app drawer, not a problem at all. Searching, going back to my home screen, going to all my other screens. Okay, going back to the home screen, really works absolutely flawless. Now let's check the quick panel. S24 Ultra, S23 Ultra. I'm gonna do this one more time. S23 Ultra, S24 Ultra. All right, quite nice. And now let's check the notification. All here. All right, let's just try to kill some of them, and let's just try to get rid of all of them. Absolutely flawless. And now I am back on the main screen. Now let's just test how blur is applied. Okay. Pay attention to what happens to the fox and also to the little prints. And by the way, I get a lot of questions, guys. This application is indeed the Lunar wallpapers, okay? Go download it. There is also a paid version. It is really very cheap, and it's one of the best. I think I use it like almost 90% of all of my phones. So pay attention to the little prints and also to the fox. All right, I would say it is obviously quite the same. Now let's check the volume rocker. Volume rocker here, volume rocker here. One more time, absolutely flawless. Now let me go to developers options and show you the available memory and also the memory used. So now I'm gonna click here and I'm gonna go 1 day ago. Right now I can see that the average memory usage of the S24 Ultra is almost 7 GB. Performance is normal, and it's a bit less on the S23 Ultra. It's almost like 6 GB. Total is 12 GB, so 12 GB here, 12 GB here. You can also click on the memory usage. And of course, the champion will be Android OS. Now, Android OS on the S24 Ultra for some reason taking a bit more, but pretty much Android OS and also One UI Home are one of the main champions together with System UI. Now it's time to check the recents menu. So recents menu here. All right, you can see all my recents up, and now I'm gonna close them. Okay, one more time, nothing here. And now let's check some of the animations. We're gonna start with folder opening. Okay, one more time. In beautiful 4K 60 FPS, and now for the first time I'm gonna start Telegram. All right, and going outside, one more time, opening the folder, opening Telegram, scrolling, going outside, one more time, outside, perfect. Okay, now let's open Facebook. All right, Not so flawless, by the way, but I guess this is just how Facebook works. And now let's open X. All right. Going outside, one more time, open X. Okay, and now guys, let's open Instagram. Why? Because when I open Instagram, I think not a problem at all. But the moment I go to the left, I'm going to invoke the camera. This is interesting. Why? Because when I get to the viewfinder, which is here and here, the screen FPS drops to 60 frames per second and not 120, right? And the moment I go back, it's going to be, see, I think a bit choppier on the S24 Ultra. One more time, let me just try to kill this one. So I'm gonna go back to the standard Instagram app, very flawless. Going outside to the main home screen, perfect. One more time, back to Insta, and now, okay, this is the animation that I'm looking to check, and I think it's quite nice. And now going outside, all right, I would say this time everything was quite nice. And now, while we're on this camera and the viewfinder topic, let's open the camera. All right. Photo here, so open the camera one more time and one more time. Okay, and now as we're here, let's do the next test, which is going to be the camera shutter speed. So for this test, I'm just going to open the camera. I'm going to go to the photo mode, guys. I'm going to turn back to the main camera. It's going to be on 12 megapixel. All right, and you can just see what happens here in the viewfinder. Okay, now the same scenario, but with the S23 Ultra, all right, 12 megapixel, same resolution. All right, you can just see what happens here. And now I can probably try to do this with both phones so that you're able to compare. Okay, just pay attention to which phone is first and faster. So I do believe that, of course, the S24 Ultra takes the edge here. All right, and that's quite normal because here we do have the very latest Snapdragon 8 Gen 3. And now it's a good time to also test the camera lens cycle. Now, what the hell is this? When I go inside a video, I can go from 0 to 6. By the way, here, UHD 60, right? And show you what happens. So I'm going to now go to 3x, okay? Ultra wide, 1, 3x, 5x, okay? 10x, ultra wide, 10x. You can just see it's not ideal, right? It is choppy, right? One more time, 3x, and then 0 to 6, 3x, 5x, the dedicated sensor. So from the ultra wide to 5x, and then back to the main camera. Now guys, when I go inside the S23 Ultra and I select UHD 60, you can see that the transition looks like this. So let me just show you guys, I want to illustrate this. So if I am 0 to 6 or ultra wide on both phones and I go, let's say let's go 10x, okay? You can see here on the S24 Ultra, I do have this transition. And here guys, I just have this very nice animation, okay? I do believe this is just a difference in both phones. If I select UHD 30, I'm gonna get like the proper transition, okay? So right now it's ultra wide, 2, 3, by the way, very smooth. So now let's do ultra wide and 10x, okay? Ultra wide, 10x. Now I'm back to the ultra wide. Now let's do 10x again and ultra wide again, 10x again. I guess the S24 Ultra is just winning this, but really, that's close. Now let's test some of the widgets. All right, weather here on both phones. One more time, weather, browsing, and going outside, quite nice. All the animations do work. Now, something that I want to see is if they finally were able to fix Spotify widget. So opening it, S23 Ultra first, going outside, this time it was okay. Opening this, one more time. Now, sometimes the closing of this widget was broken. Now, I don't see this happening here on this update. So let's just try to do this several times. Okay, see? Yeah, okay, this is what I'm talking about, okay? Let me just try to put another song, so let's just try to play whatever this is, all right? And now, yeah, same here, guys. Now let's check the always on display. Something that is right now only available on the S24 Ultra is the fact that you're able to show the lock screen wallpaper on the always on display, but also when to show, because here we do have auto, always tap to show, as scheduled, and only for notification. Here we don't have the auto option, which is actually not so nice. But okay, this is what we have here on the S23 Ultra, and this is here the always on display with this new fancy option. So now this is lock screen, all right, lock screen. Now pay attention, guys. The moment this goes back to the always on display, boom, the wallpaper here, and here we have rather this sad story. Now, time to test also the fingerprint read scanner, all right? Yep, I would say nice. Both phones very, very quick. I do have a feeling that the S24 Ultra just a tiny bit quicker, maybe. All right, maybe one more time just to be 100% sure. Okay, yep. And now it's time to show you some of the GeekBench results that I got. I did test today twice. This was the first result with the light mode on. Pay attention, single core score below 2000. The multi-core score is almost 6060. But when I put it back to the normal mode, guys, I got 2000, almost in 200, and 6700. Okay, so this is really what I got on the S24 Ultra. I didn't really test it on the S23 Ultra. It's pretty much stable, guys. I am 100% sure that I'm gonna get really close to my maximum results, which are almost like 2000 in a single core score and almost 5000 and 3400 on the multi-core score. And now it's time for me to share with you my battery experience, since I'm using this already for almost a week, and I want to show you guys all my results for the previous days. So the main update here has been installed since 1 week, and you can pretty much see what I'm getting. Like screen on time is like 3 hours, screen on time 5 hours with additional charging, screen on time 4 hours with additional charging, screen on time almost 6 hours, guys, but I had to charge it again. So the thing is, guys, I'm not really impressed so much with the battery life. When I use this phone on the highest display resolution, the QHD plus, the WQHD plus, and the 120 Hz, and with the extra brightness, this is really what I'm getting, which is not ideal, which means that when I pick up the phone in the morning, like for example today, so I get up early like 7 a.m, pick up the phone in the morning, guys, it seems that something like 16, 17 in the afternoon, I am almost like, yeah, dead with the battery, like in this case here, you can just see, right? So it's not ideal. I'm not sure what is going on here. I know I have a lot of applications. I see some people reporting things like 10 hours screen on time, but I'm 100% sure they are not really using it the way I do, or most probably they have other settings. They don't use it in the highest brightness. They don't use it with the WQHD and with 120 Hz. Who knows? Right now, I would say 4 hours guaranteed. Everything that is more than 4 hours is more than welcome. And now with that said, guys, the last thing I want to share, guys, I want to test also the edge panels with you, because this animation was choppy, and I do also have this pretty fine configuration. So where I have Twitter here, okay, and I have also Telegram. When we click here, we have the option to do vice versa, and you know how it goes. You can go and minimize or maximize one up. Like I want to right now just put Twitter here in a pop-up mode. I can always do this. You see, not so easy with the flat screen, by the way. So this is Twitter. Okay, you can minimize it if you want. It's going to stay like this. Right now, I have a feeling that the S23 Ultra is just like almost the same phone, but okay, without the flat screen. So, guys, this is right now the May update. If you have any other questions, then hit me up in the comments, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Stay safe. VST over and bye.